slowly now. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. One more time. Inhale and exhale. How wonderful that you're here. This moment is just for you. There's no rush, no obligations in this instant, just the gentle comfort of your own presence. Picture yourself lying in a peaceful field, the breeze softly caressing your skin as the world slows down around you. Every gentle sound is an invitation to relax even more. In this safe space, let's explore together a topic that often feels daunting but can become calm and welcoming. Your budget. Today, we'll walk together on a journey of understanding, clarity, and financial peace. A journey that requires no effort, only presence. One step at a time. Breathe once more, slowly, and let's begin. Your relationship with money is like a tranquil river. It may be a bit murky in some stretches, perhaps with unexpected currents. But with time, with calm, it finds a smoother path. Planning your budget is like observing this river with care, not trying to control it completely, but learning to flow with it. Imagine your budget as a small cabin in the middle of a forest. Inside this cabin, you keep your treasures, your seeds, your tools, everything you have. And each time you enter it calmly, with love, you can reorganize things, discover what matters most, and realize that even with little, there's always enough to start. Creating a budget isn't about limiting, it's about illuminating. Illuminating paths, choices, priorities, knowing where every bit of your effort goes. And that, little by little, brings peace. Maybe you've never made a budget before, or perhaps you've tried several times without success. That's okay. Now is different. Now you're here in this moment of serenity, choosing to care for yourself. Let's start by observing, without judgment, just with kindness. Where are you now? How much comes in? How much goes out? How do you feel when you think about it? No pressure. Just notice. Picture yourself standing by a small lake. Each expense is a pebble you toss into the water. Some create big ripples. Others barely make a mark. But all are part of the natural movement of your life. It's not about cutting everything. It's about choosing with care what to keep and what to let go. A gentle budget is like a blanket you sew yourself, using pieces of time, energy, priorities, until it fits you perfectly. In this chapter, we want just this. A first look, a calm, caring look at how you handle what you have. Because what you have matters, and who you are matters even more. Breathe once more, and when you're ready, let's take the next step together on this peaceful journey. Imagine you're walking through a small village, wooden houses, colorful flowers, the faint smell of freshly baked bread in the air. Everything feels calm, but as you pay attention, you notice small details. The market stall raising the price of fruit, the baker making smaller loaves, the seamstress quietly working longer hours. These subtle changes, sometimes almost imperceptible, are reflections of something larger. The economy is like the weather in this village. Sometimes a cold wind called inflation blows through. Other times, sunny days of abundance. Understanding your daily budget is like feeling these changes in the air, not with fear, but with awareness. Inflation, for example, isn't just a technical concept. It's the moment when the money you've carefully saved starts to buy a little less, as if the coins were getting lighter, or as if prices were slowly drifting out of reach. You may have felt this while shopping. A package that used to cost $5 now costs $6. A service that once seemed affordable now feels like a small luxury. It's as if the world around you is shifting, even if you're standing still. But here's something important. This isn't your fault. The movement of the economy is shaped by many hands, many decisions, many realities. It's okay to feel confused or even a little frustrated. That's natural. That's why we're here. To breathe, observe, and understand without fear. Understanding the impact of this on your daily life isn't just about looking at numbers. It's about noticing with care how it affects your time, your habits, your choices. It's when you start paying attention to what you truly need, to what brings value, and to what might just be taking up space. This is where awareness is born, not as an obligation, but as protection, a gentle protection, like an umbrella in a light rain, a way to prepare without closing yourself off. When you realize that spending less on something that doesn't truly nourish you can create space for what matters, you start to regain control, a gentle control that doesn't suffocate, but embraces. Maybe you love a special coffee or ordering something delicious on the weekend. That can continue. The difference is that now you do it with presence, with intention, not out of impulse or distraction. Over time, you start to see patterns, small leaks, small excesses, and also small victories. A more conscious choice here, a saving there, and suddenly your financial river starts to become clearer. So, economy of daily life isn't something distant. It's in the morning bread, in the cost of a bus ticket, in the sigh at the end of the month. And the more you observe with calm, the more you realize you can navigate these waters. You're not alone. Thousands of people feel the same, but few pause to breathe and listen to what these signs are saying. You're doing that now. You're listening with your heart, with attention, and that's already a huge step. Remember, it's not about having a lot or getting everything right. It's about knowing with kindness where you are and where you'd like to go. Even if slowly, even if gently, you're doing beautiful work by allowing yourself to understand, by opening this space for reflection, by noticing that, yes, the world changes, but you can change with it, with lightness, with presence. Now, breathe once more and feel prepared to discover gentle ways to act. Next, we'll talk about calm strategies to handle these challenges. Nothing complex, just simple suggestions, like a warm cup of tea on a cold day. Welcoming, possible, yours. Breathe, slowly, deeply. Picture yourself again in that cozy cabin in the forest. The air is fresh but comforting. You hold a warm cup in your hands. Outside, the breeze gently moves the leaves. You're safe, you're secure, and you're ready to take another step. This chapter doesn't require effort, only presence. In it, we'll talk about gentle, calm, and realistic ways to manage your budget. Strategies, but not the kind that feel like orders. They're more like caring suggestions, paths of flowers you can explore at your own pace. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you're holding a soft covered notebook. The cover is your favorite, color. Inside, you'll record not just numbers, but stories. Your story with money, your steps, your lessons, your choices, not with guilt, but with care. The first strategy is to name what comes in and what goes out. It might seem too simple, but it's powerful. Take a page in your notebook and write calmly all your sources of income. It could be your salary, a sale you made, money received from someone, an unexpected gift. Money has many paths to reach you. Naming is recognizing, and recognizing is the first step to caring. Next, move to your expenses. Here, the secret isn't cutting, but observing with kindness. Write everything down, without shame, without fear. Just see what's happening, like looking out a window at the flow of a river. Each expense is a small current, some stronger, others barely noticeable, but all are part of your movement. Now, imagine you can divide these expenses into categories of care. Don't call them fixed costs or unnecessary. Try other names, more human, more gentle. Caring for home, for example. Nourishing the body. Bringing joy to myself. Sowing the future. Caring for those I love. When you change the name, you change the feeling. And when you change the feeling, you transform the experience. Breathe again. One more time. Feel that everything is okay. Let's talk now about rituals. Yes, rituals. Small financial care rituals. Choose a moment in the week, maybe Sunday evening or Monday morning. Take your notebook, a warm drink, perhaps soft music in the background, and just review your week. How was your flow? What worked? Where did you feel lightness? Where did you feel tension? This moment isn't for corrections. It's for reflections. Another important point is creating a space called welcoming the unexpected. Life happens. Sometimes unexpected expenses arise. Medicine, a repair, a gift you wanted to give. And that's all part of it. So, if possible, set aside an amount, even a small one, to be your financial cushion, a space to breathe in the middle of the month, the hug you give yourself in advance, and when you need to use it with peace in your heart, because it was there, exactly for that. Now, imagine another scenario, a tough day, you spent more than you planned, felt bad afterward, maybe thought you failed. But breathe. This isn't failure. It's life. We all go through it. And the secret is to return with kindness. Return to your notebook. Return to observation. Return to the path. You're not late. You're not wrong. You're learning. Remember one essential thing. Your budget is a living organism. It breathes with you. It changes. It grows. Sometimes it shrinks. Sometimes it needs adjustments. And that's okay. What doesn't change is your worth. You're worth more than any number. You deserve tranquility. You deserve lightness. Another loving strategy is creating moments of celebration. When you make a conscious choice, celebrate. When you avoid an impulsive purchase, celebrate. When you manage to save an amount, even a small one, acknowledge the achievement. With every step, no matter how small it seems, you're building something immense. Autonomy, self-care, self-love. If you like, set small symbolic goals in your notebook. Simple things. This week, I'll check my balance every day. This month, I'll cook more at home. Today, I'll just observe my expenses without criticizing myself. Each goal is a flower planted on your path, and little by little, that path becomes a garden. Breathe once more, deeply. You're not alone. You're not on your own. This process is yours, but it's part of something bigger. A journey of people who, like you, chose to look at money with awareness, with calm, with soul. Now let's talk about how to maintain this serenity even when things feel difficult. Because challenges will come, but the peace you're cultivating now will be your faithful companion. Breathe one more time. Feel the air entering gently through your nostrils and leaving through your mouth like a calm sigh. Picture yourself now by a crackling fire. You're wrapped in a soft blanket and the flames dance slowly, warming not just your body, but also your heart. Life's challenges are like cold nights, inevitable, but there's always a way to warm them with presence, care, and resilience. This chapter is an invitation to learn how to maintain your serenity even when the financial path becomes tougher. Because there will be days like that. Days when money seems to slip through your fingers like sand. Days when bills pile up. Days when the unexpected knocks at your door. But even in those moments, you can breathe. Even in those moments, you can embrace yourself. Let's do this together. Imagine every financial challenge as a stone in your path, not to stop you from continuing, but to invite you to slow down, observe, adapt. Sometimes the greatest gift an obstacle offers is the chance to reassess, to see a different path. When things get tight, it's common for anxiety to creep in. It whispers that everything is out of control, that you messed up, that you won't manage. But the truth is different. You're trying. You're here, now, learning, organizing, seeking tools, and that's more than enough. An important strategy in these moments is kindness to yourself. Avoid phrases like, I always mess up, I'm terrible with money, I'll never get out of this. Those words, even silent ones, create tension. Instead, try saying, I'm facing a tough moment, but it will pass. Or even, this is temporary, and I'm doing the best I can with what I have. The second step is to reassess with care. Take your notebook or open your spreadsheet and see if there's something that can be adjusted, not as punishment, but as care. Maybe you'll notice you can pause a purchase for a month, or renegotiate something, or simply accept that this month will be tighter, but the next one can be better. This is where conscious flexibility comes in. Your budget isn't a rigid track, it's a net that adapts. When life changes, it can change too. And changing the plan isn't failure. It's emotional intelligence. It's self-love. Another key point is knowing how to ask for help without shame. We all need it at some point. It could be a conversation with someone you trust, a request for a deadline extension, or professional guidance. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's courage, it's maturity. And on days when everything feels overwhelming, pause for a few minutes, close your eyes, play soft music, breathe deeply, and remember, you're doing the best you can. And that's beautiful, that's valuable. Now picture a cloudy sky, dark. It seems like it'll rain all day, but suddenly a small ray of sunlight breaks through the clouds. It doesn't light up everything, but it's enough to bring hope. Challenges pass too. The light always finds a way to shine through, and even when the storm lasts longer, you can build shelter, an emotional shelter, a mental shelter, a spiritual shelter, and yes, a financial shelter too, with small actions, small reminders that you're capable, that you're important, that everything is cyclical, and you don't need to get it all right now. You just need to keep going. Let's also talk about the importance of rest. When financial life feels heavy, it's common to try to solve everything at once. But over-effort exhausts, and a tired mind makes harder decisions. So, allow yourself to pause, sleep well, eat well, enjoy something light. Sometimes a nap heals more than a paid bill, because after rest comes clarity. Another tool is positive visualization. With eyes closed, imagine yourself in the near future, living with more tranquility. Picture yourself saving money, paying off debts, feeling proud of yourself. Every detail matters. The more vivid the image, the more your body starts to believe it's possible. And where there's belief, there's action. Breathe again, deeply. You're under construction, and it's okay if some parts are still being renovated. The important thing is that the foundation is solid. It's called awareness, and it grows with every small step you take, even on cloudy days, even in tougher weeks. So, the next time a challenge arises, look at it like a stone that shines under moonlight. It seems hard, cold, but it's also beautiful, and it has something to teach. You're bigger than your problems, and your worth never depended on a bank statement. You're whole. You're complete. Even in times of scarcity, there's abundance within you. When everything feels too much, return to your breath. Return to this space. Return to yourself. Breathe one more time and prepare yourself. Next, we'll talk about something that can transform everything. Cultivating abundance with what you already have. You're doing so well. We're together. Breathe deeply and exhale slowly. Feel your body relaxing, as if every cell remembers it's safe, present, exactly where it needs to be. Today, let's talk about something precious, abundance, but perhaps not in the way the world usually presents it. We're not talking about having everything or accumulating as much as possible. We're talking about true abundance, the kind that blooms from within, that grows when you see value in the simple, that flourishes when you care for what's already within your reach. Picture yourself now in a quiet place, a silent garden, where each plant represents something you have. It could be a skill, a memory, a gesture you received, a talent, a wise choice, an overcome challenge. You walk among these plants with care, touch their leaves, breathe their gentle scent, and realize there's so much more life around you than you imagined. Often, the mind is trained to notice what's missing, the unfulfilled desires, the distant achievements, the standards that tell us what we should have. But true abundance begins when we shift our focus, when we choose to see everything that already exists. And you have so much. You have courage, even if you don't always notice it. You have stories. You have experiences. You have moments that shaped you. You have choices that brought you here. You have silent strengths that sustain you every day. breathe once more and feel this in your body. Now, let's bring this feeling to your financial life. Yes, it's possible to cultivate abundance even with limited resources, because abundance isn't about quantity. It's about the value we give to what we have. Think of something simple you already have today. Maybe an object, a space, a skill, a connection. With a gentle and attentive gaze, you can rediscover uses, meanings, and ways to multiply that value. For example, reuse and reinvent what you already have. An old notebook can become your financial journal. A forgotten talent can be explored in a new way. Free time can turn into a learning opportunity. Share what you know or have. Sometimes helping someone activates a sense of inner wealth in you, because giving is also a way of receiving. Value small gestures. Organizing, cleaning, caring. These actions create an energy of prosperity. When you treat what you have well, you prepare the ground for more good things to come. Be sincerely grateful. Gratitude is like light. It reveals what was hidden by the shadow of haste, comparison, or self-criticism. Being grateful is realizing that life already offers beauty, even on ordinary days. Now, close your eyes for a moment and think of 3 things you already have today that are valuable to you. They don't need to be big or material. It could be your ability to listen, your sense of humor, your faith, a place that welcomes you, a friendship. Feel this. These things are already seeds of abundance, and all they need to grow is attention and care. You can also observe how you use your resources daily. Sometimes it's not the amount that causes tension, but how we use it. When you start giving conscious direction to what you have, everything organizes better, and that brings peace. So, even if your resources seem limited now, remember, it's possible to live with lightness and dignity when there's intention, when there's clarity, when there's love for the process. You don't need to wait for an external change to start feeling abundant. That change can bloom within you. Let's do a small exercise. Visualize a simple table in front of you. On it are all the things you already have that hold value for your journey. Notice how, even if they're few, they have their own light. Now, imagine you start rearranging these things with care, discovering new uses, creating new meanings, making space for the new. This table is your life, and it already has enough to begin. When you change how you look, you change how you live. Abundance isn't about having everything. It's about feeling that what you have is already part of something greater. And little by little, with conscious choices, with gratitude and care, you build a lighter, freer life, and more prosperous in every sense. Breathe deeply. You're doing well. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to turn your dreams into clear, gentle goals, so you can walk toward them without haste, without fear, and with your heart at peace. But for now, just stay here, in this gentle silence, in this moment that's yours alone. And remember, you already have everything you need to flourish. Breathe deeply and exhale slowly. Feel your body softening, as if you're dissolving into a safe space where dreams are welcome, where no idea is too small, where everything can start with a simple thought. Today, let's talk about something that lives within you, quiet but pulsing. Your dreams. Maybe some are crystal clear in your mind. Others might be dormant, waiting for you to rediscover them. Either way, they're part of you. And now, together, we'll learn how to gently transform them into real, possible, and welcoming goals. First, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine a star high in the sky. This star represents a deep desire. It could be more freedom, more time, more peace, more organization. It doesn't matter the size or shape of your dream. What matters is how it makes you feel. Now, imagine a path between you and that star. A tranquil path made of small lights that glow one by one. Each light is a step, and each step is a gentle choice. This is the process of turning a dream into a goal, lighting up the path. It's not about running. It's not about having all the answers now. It's about giving name, shape, and intention to what pulses within you. Let's breathe together and start this process calmly. Pick one dream, just one. It doesn't need to be the biggest. Choose the one that calls to you gently in this moment. Now, ask yourself, what would it feel like to have this dream come true? Where would you be? With whom? How would you feel? Let the images come, without rush, like clouds passing in the sky. Next, bring this dream closer. Think, what can I do, in a simple and possible way, to start moving in this direction? It could be something small, something symbolic, something that fits into your day today. Maybe it's writing it down, researching, talking to someone, setting aside time in the week, reorganizing a priority. These small gestures are like seeds, planted with intention. They grow, they gain strength, they bring you closer to what you desire. But pay attention. Gentle goals aren't perfect goals. They're flexible. They respect your rhythms. They walk beside you, not ahead of you. They don't need to be grandiose or rigid. They just need to be clear, possible, and connected to your heart. You can write your goals as if you were writing a letter to yourself. Start with, "Dear me, I'm walking toward," and complete it with what you desire. Use soft, nurturing, inspiring words. You can even keep this letter in a special place as a quiet reminder of your loving commitment to yourself. Breathe once more and feel your body light. Now, let's talk about organization. Turning dreams into goals also involves clarity about the time and resources available. But this doesn't need to be complicated. You can use what you have: a notebook, an app, a blank sheet of paper. Choose a method that brings you pleasure. Break your goal into small milestones, like train stations. Each station is an achievement. Each stop is a celebration. For example, if your dream is greater stability, your stations might be organizing your expenses, creating a safety fund, learning something new, making a different choice this month. It doesn't matter the path. What matters is how you walk it. With lightness, with kindness, with presence. Remember to check your goals often, but not with pressure. Do it like watering a plant. See what's grown. See what needs more care, and adjust if needed. It's okay to change the plan when your heart changes direction. You don't need to achieve everything now. You just need to keep going, one step at a time. The magic happens in the movement. And what's most beautiful, each step you take toward a true dream also lights up your inner path. You get to know yourself more. You grow stronger, and you discover that the path, in truth, is the most precious gift. Breathe once more. and feel at peace with this process. You have the right to dream. You have the right to achieve with gentleness. And you have the right to turn your desires into goals that care for you, not pressure you. Now, before closing this chapter, I invite you to imagine you're holding a small lantern. With it, you light up the next step, just the next one. And that's enough for today. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to maintain emotional balance while dealing with money, an essential step to keep this journey light, deep, and true. For now, stay with the gentle glow of this inner lantern. You're on the right path, and your path is beautiful, just as it is. Breathe deeply, exhale slowly. Feel every part of your body settling into this moment, as if embraced by a calm, gentle breeze. Here, there's no rush or pressure, just a safe space, yours alone, where we can talk about something as important as it is delicate, your emotions in relation to money. Sometimes thinking about finances can stir up difficult feelings, anxiety, fear, doubt, even shame. And it's okay to feel these things. These emotions are part of our humanity, our personal story, and there's nothing to hide. But what we can learn together is that these emotions don't need to control your journey. It's possible to embrace them, understand their origin, and find a gentle way to move forward, keeping your balance. Picture yourself in a small boat on a calm lake. Every now and then, a wave might appear, and that's natural. We don't need to avoid the wave, but learn to navigate with it. And that's what we'll do today. Learn to navigate your financial emotions with care and respect. First, let's identify. Ask yourself, with kindness, what emotions come up when I think about my budget? Where do I feel these emotions in my body? Observe without judging. If anxiety comes, notice if it tightens your chest or stomach. If sadness arises, see where it settles. If anger surfaces, feel where it shows up. By identifying these sensations, you start to create a connection between mind and body. This connection is the first step to emotional balance. Now, let's learn to embrace these emotions. Imagine they're visitors who've come to talk. Give them a name, have a mental conversation. I see you, anxiety. Thank you for trying to protect me. Now, let's talk slowly so I can understand what you need. This quiet, gentle inner dialogue helps disarm intense feelings and creates space for calm. Next, practice conscious breathing. Inhale, counting to 4. Hold for 2. Exhale, counting to 6. Repeat a few times. This breathing helps regulate your nervous system and brings focus to the present, the only moment where you have power. Now that you're more centered, let's think about strategies to maintain emotional balance when dealing with your budget. An important tip is to create small moments of pause during your financial day. Before opening your spreadsheet or app, for example, take a deep breath and ask, am I ready for this now? Do I feel calm? If the answer is no, maybe wait a few minutes, or until another time in the day when your mind feels more at ease. Another valuable strategy is keeping an emotional journal. Write your feelings, your thoughts about money, without filters, without judgment. Let out what weighs you down, what confuses, what scares. This act of writing is therapeutic, helping to organize feelings and gain clarity. Remember, there's no shame in asking for help. Talking to someone you trust, or even a professional, can be a great support for understanding and embracing your emotions. In the process of planning your budget, be kind to yourself. Not everything will be perfect, and that's okay. Mistakes are lessons. Challenges are natural parts of the path. Patience is a gift you can give yourself every day. Picture now that you're building a garden. Each plant is an emotion. Some are soft flowers. Others are weeds that need attention. With care and dedication, the garden grows healthy, balanced, full of life. Allow yourself to tend this inner garden with love and calm. At the end of the day, thank yourself for this journey, for every effort, every small step, because maintaining emotional balance is an achievement worth celebrating. Breathe deeply again. Exhale slowly. Feel the lightness of being present in the now, ready to continue your financial journey with serenity and inner strength. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to create a simple financial plan that respects your rhythm and emotions, so your budget becomes a true ally in your daily life. For now, stay with this feeling of peace and embrace. You're doing beautiful work, and you deserve all the care in the world. Breathe deeply, exhale slowly. Here we are again, in this space that's yours alone, where time slows down and attention turns to what truly matters. Caring for yourself and your financial path in a gentle, light way. After embracing your emotions and understanding they're part of the journey, it's time to take a practical but unhurried step, building a financial plan that respects your rhythm, your needs, and your heart. Imagine a financial plan as drawing a map for a walk. It doesn't need to be perfect or full of complicated details. It's just a guide, simple, to help you navigate and move forward with confidence. To start, let's think about 3 essential points of this map: your goals, your resources, and your priorities. First, the goals. What do you want to achieve with your money? It could be something simple, like saving for an emergency, paying off a bothersome debt, or investing in your well-being, like a trip, a course, or a change in routine. Think of goals that make sense to you, that bring motivation and joy. Avoid goals that feel impossible or create anxiety. The aim here is to build confidence, step by step. Breathe deeply. Feel this clear intention in your heart. Now, let's look at resources. What do you have available? You don't need an exact number, just an idea of what comes in and what goes out, as we discussed in previous chapters. Remember, it doesn't need to be perfect. The important thing is to have awareness, without judgment, of the flow in your financial river. Finally, opium. Finally, priorities. What's essential for you right now? Which expenses sustain your life and health? Which ones can wait a bit? Which ones bring joy and comfort and deserve a place in your budget? This is where kindness comes in. Prioritizing isn't about cutting everything, but choosing with love what maintains your balance and well-being. With these 3 points in mind, we can think of simple actions to follow the plan. For example, set aside a small amount, no matter how small, to start saving. Set dates to review your budget, but always respecting your rhythm without haste or pressure. If a difficulty arises, breathe. Remember that the plan is a guide, not a prison. It can be adjusted, adapted, changed as your life evolves. Picture yourself on a forest trail, holding your map. You know where you want to go, you know the terrain, and you have the steps to follow. Each step is a conscious choice, a gesture of self-care. When challenges appear, may you remember your map and your rhythm. and keep walking with confidence. And may each step make the path clearer and more welcoming. Before we finish, know that this plan is yours, unique and special. No one else can walk it for you. And that's both a great responsibility and a gift. Breathe deeply, feel the strength of this gentle responsibility. And when you feel ready, return to your day, knowing you're building a financial life that respects you. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to handle unexpected events gently, without fear or guilt, maintaining serenity amid changes. For now, thank yourself for this moment of care and presence. You deserve this kindness. You're on the right path. Breathe deeply. Exhale slowly. In this moment, you are safe, calm, and open to another step in this gentle financial journey. There's no need to rush or pressure yourself. Let's build something that truly works for you. A simple financial plan that respects your rhythm, emotions, and reality. Imagine your financial plan as a hand-drawn map for a special journey. Your journey. It doesn't need to be perfect or overly detailed. It just needs to be clear enough to guide you forward with confidence. Before we start drawing this map, let's pause for a moment. Inhale deeply through your nose, counting to 4. Hold for 2 seconds. And exhale slowly through your mouth, counting to 6. Do this a few times, feeling tranquility fill your body more with each breath. Now, picture a box where you keep your tools for the journey. Patience, self-love, the courage to learn, and the determination to care for yourself. These tools are already within you. Your financial plan will be a way to organize their use, making each step lighter. Let's begin with what you already know. First, make a list of your income. All the money that comes to you in any form. It could be fixed or variable, from a job, a sale, a gift, or unexpected help. It doesn't matter the name or the amount. Just list it with sincerity and calm. Next, note your expenses. All the costs of your daily life. Food, transportation, household bills, small purchases, even moments of leisure. Leave nothing out. The more complete the record, the better you'll understand your flow. If it feels overwhelming to remember everything, don't worry. Just write what comes to mind now, and you can fill in the details later. There's no need for haste or perfection. Now, breathe again. Feel the lightness that comes from observing with kindness, without criticism. This gentle look at your financial life is an act of care, of love for yourself. The next step is to categorize your expenses into groups that make sense to you. They could be needs, wants, savings, investing, or any names you prefer. The important thing is that these categories help you organize, not complicate things. Imagine you're tidying drawers in a dresser. Each drawer has a purpose, and only what belongs in it goes there. After organizing your income and expenses, let's think of a simple goal for your plan. A goal doesn't need to be grand to be meaningful. It could be something like building an emergency fund, paying an important bill, or learning to manage my expenses better. When you have a clear goal, even a small one, it's easier to walk with purpose and motivation. But pay attention. Your financial plan is not a prison or a rigid rule. It's a flexible guide that can and should be adjusted as your life evolves and you learn more about yourself. If something doesn't work, that's okay. You can change, adapt, experiment. That's part of the journey. Now, Think of small, practical steps to follow your plan. For example, set a fixed time each week to review your finances, or establish a gentle limit for spending in certain categories. These small habits create a gentle routine that, over time, becomes a great ally for your balance. During this process, it's crucial to maintain a positive inner dialogue. When that critical voice says, "You'll never get this right," respond with kindness. "I'm learning, I'm taking care of myself, and every step matters." Also, celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Every time you manage to stick to your budget, save a little, or avoid an impulsive purchase, acknowledge that effort with care. True change happens at the right time for each person. Patience is a precious companion on this journey. If anxiety or fear arises, return to conscious breathing. Inhale, counting to 4. Hold for 2. Exhale, counting to 6, as many times as you need. Allow yourself to feel what comes. Embrace your emotions and move forward with the kindness. Picture your financial plan as a garden you cultivate little by little. It grows, it blooms, and even if there are days of rain or wind, you know you can tend to it with calm, learning at every moment. This simple plan, created by you, for you, will be the foundation for a calmer, more balanced financial life. You're taking important steps, even if they're quiet, even if they're small, and that's already a lot. To finish, thank yourself for this moment of care and attention, for being here, present, dedicating time to understanding yourself and transforming your relationship with money. Breathe deeply one more time. Exhale slowly, and feel the peace that comes from a calm conscience. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to handle financial surprises, always with the calm and kindness you deserve. For now, remain in this state of serenity and confidence. You're on the right path, and you deserve all the care and embrace in the world. Breathe deeply, exhale slowly. In this moment, I invite you to feel present, embraced, and safe. We're here to learn together how to handle those unexpected moments that can arise on your financial path. The surprises. They may seem scary at first glance, but with a bit of calm and preparation, you can face them without losing your tranquility. Picture your financial life as a boat sailing on a river. Sometimes the waters are calm and gentle. Other times, waves, strong winds, or small rocks appear in the way. Surprises are those waves or rocks. But the boat, which is you, can be sturdy and flexible, learning to keep going even through changes. Before anything else, let's breathe together one more time. Inhale, counting to 4. Hold for 2 seconds. And exhale, counting to 6. Feel the serenity coming in and the tension leaving with the air you release. Now, think of your financial plan as a safety net that keeps the boat from sinking when it hits those waves. This net is your emergency reserve, a protected space where you keep a little of what's left for those moments. If you haven't created this reserve yet, no problem. Today we can start thinking about it, slowly, with kindness. Every little bit you manage to save will be a protection, a warm hug when something unexpected arises. Financial surprises can take many forms. A medical expense, a home repair, an urgent purchase, a job change, or a quick decision you need to make. They're part of everyone's life, and there's no issue in acknowledging them. What changes everything is how you prepare for them and how you react when they appear. The first tip is not to blame yourself. Often, we feel fear and anxiety because we think we should have seen it coming or did something wrong. But life is full of surprises, and tranquility comes when we accept that we don't need absolute control. When a surprise arises, breathe deeply and embrace what you're feeling. Fear, frustration, insecurity, these are natural emotions. Don't run from them. Allow yourself to feel them, then reconnect with your inner strength. If possible, review your budget calmly. See where you can adjust to accommodate this new need. Remember that your budget is a flexible guide, and you can reprioritize as needed. Sometimes this means postponing a desire, reducing spending on something less urgent, or finding other ways to balance the accounts. If the surprise is big and hard to handle alone, know that asking for help is an act of courage and self-care. It could be a friend, a family member, or a professional. You don't need to carry everything alone. Another important tool is planning for the future. After navigating an unexpected event, take time to reflect and adjust your financial plan, including new possibilities for an emergency reserve or ways to increase your financial security. This reflective and adaptive approach is an act of self-love that strengthens your journey. It's also essential to care for your emotional well-being during these moments. Practice breathing exercises, meditation, or any activity that brings calm and balance to your mind and body. Remember, caring for your finances is also caring for your emotional health. When dealing with surprises, an important step is cultivating patience with yourself. Solutions aren't always quick or easy, and that's okay. Persistence, even if quiet, builds a solid foundation for the future. Picture yourself in a garden where some plants face storms, but with time and care, bloom even stronger. You're that careful gardener who knows how to give time and space for growth. In the midst of a storm, you may need to rely on your inner tools, your courage, your resilience, your adaptability. These qualities are always within you, ready to be used. Finally, celebrate the fact that you're here, facing each challenge with attention and care. Every time you choose calm, kindness, and care, you strengthen not only your wallet, but also your soul. When you're ready, breathe deeply one more time, feeling confidence grow within you. Exhale slowly, releasing any remaining tension. Remember, surprises are a natural part of life, but how you face them makes all the difference. You're capable of navigating these waters, even when they get rougher, and I'll be here to walk with you, step by step. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to create financial habits that bring balance and tranquility, gently and consistently. For now, stay in this feeling of peace and strength, knowing you're in control of your journey. You deserve all the calm and security you're cultivating. Breathe slowly, feel your body relax, and let your mind open to new possibilities. Today, let's talk about habits. Those small daily gestures that, when done with attention and care, build a solid foundation for your financial tranquility. Picture your financial life as a garden you tend with care. Each habit is a seed planted in the soil of your routine. Some seeds sprout quickly, others take time to grow, but all of them, with consistency, become flowers that perfume and beautify your path. Changing habits can seem difficult, sometimes even exhausting. But here, on this journey, we want to build gentle habits that respect your rhythm and needs without pressure or demands. Start by observing what you already do naturally with money. There are small gestures, attitudes, thoughts that already help you care for your budget, even if they seem too simple. These small steps are fundamental because they create a solid foundation for bigger advances. An important habit is checking your budget regularly. It could be once a week or every 2 weeks. The key is to make this moment a ritual, a gentle pause to connect with your financial planning. When you sit down calmly to review your accounts, without haste, you start noticing details that might have gone unnoticed before. Maybe you'll spot expenses that can be adjusted, or income that deserves more appreciation. Another seed worth planting is tracking your expenses. Recording small and large expenses is like telling yourself a story, understanding where your money goes and what choices you make daily. It doesn't need to be complicated. A simple notebook, a spreadsheet on your phone, or an app you enjoy. What matters is finding a method that works for you. Over time, this practice brings clarity and control, making you feel more confident in your decisions. Another helpful habit is setting aside a small amount for an emergency fund, even if it's little at first. Consistency matters more than the amount. Every bit saved is a gesture of self-love, a care for yourself that creates security for the future. It's also crucial to cultivate kindness towards yourself. If you forget to track an expense one day or can't stick to the plan perfectly, don't criticize yourself. Habits are built with patience, acceptance, and persistence. A stumble isn't a failure. It's a chance to learn and start again. A less obvious but powerful habit is celebrating small victories. Every time you stick to your budget, save a bit, or avoid an impulsive purchase, acknowledge it with care. These celebrations fuel motivation and self-esteem, reinforcing that you're on the right path. Another important habit is reflection. Set aside a few minutes to think about how money impacts your life, emotions, and dreams. This inner reflection helps align your financial choices with your values and goals, making your budget a tool that supports your happiness and well-being. Finally, remember that financial habits are part of a larger care, caring for yourself. When you learn to listen to yourself, respect your time and needs, money stops being a source of stress and becomes a resource that helps you live better. Picture yourself watering your garden with love and attention. Sometimes growth may seem slow, but nature knows its own perfect timing to bloom. You're cultivating seeds that will one day become strong trees, offering shade, fruit, and shelter. Breathe deeply one more time, feeling confidence grow within you. Feel capable of building, step by step, habits that bring balance and serenity to your financial life. And when you're ready, we'll move on to the next chapter, where we'll explore how to maintain motivation and discipline in a gentle, loving way. Until then, care for yourself with calm and patience. You're doing wonderful work. Breathe deeply. Let your body relax and let your mind calm in this present moment. Today, let's talk about two elements that seem opposite but walk hand in hand on the budgeting journey: motivation and discipline. Motivation is that spark that ignites the desire to move forward, the enthusiasm that drives action. Discipline, on the other hand, is the commitment that keeps your steps steady, even when motivation wanes. Here, we want to cultivate both in a gentle way, respecting your rhythm and emotions. Picture motivation as the morning sun, warming and lighting the way. Discipline is the firm soil that supports the tree, even on cloudy days. When starting a new habit or project, motivation is usually strong, but it's natural for that flame to dim over time, and discipline needs to take the lead to maintain consistent care. In the context of your budget, this means there will be days when you're excited to review your finances, make adjustments, and plan for the future. Other days, fatigue or distraction might make it hard to stay focused, and that's okay. That's part of being human. The secret is finding gentle ways to strengthen discipline without pushing too hard. An effective strategy is creating soft reminders to stay connected to your budget. It could be a phone alarm, a note on the mirror, or a fixed weekly moment to review your accounts. These reminders are like small signs on the path, helping you stay focused without pressure. Also, breaking your goals into smaller steps makes them more achievable. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire budget at once, start with one category, like food, transportation, or leisure. Each small victory fuels motivation and builds confidence. Another tip is to connect your motivation to something that truly matters to you. Ask yourself, why do I want to manage my money better? What does this mean for my life? It could be security for your family, achieving a dream, or the freedom to choose how to use your time. Having a clear why helps sustain discipline when challenges arise. Also, be flexible with yourself. If one day you can't complete a planned task, don't blame yourself. Acknowledge the effort you've already made and pick up the habit the next day. Persistence isn't perfection. It's continuing despite difficulties. Another way to keep motivation alive is to seek inspiration from others on this journey. Talking, reading success stories, or following positive financial content can reignite enthusiasm and broaden your perspective. But be careful not to compare yourself. Every path is unique, and what matters is your personal progress, not others. Practice gratitude for your progress, even if small. Celebrating steps taken is key to creating a positive cycle. Finally, care for your overall well-being, because mind, body, and emotions are interconnected. When you're rested, calm, and balanced, it's much easier to maintain healthy habits, including financial ones. So, don't forget to set aside time to relax, have fun, and connect with what brings you joy. Your budget isn't a prison but an ally for your freedom and well-being. Breathe deeply one more time. Feel the strength growing within you to continue with the patience and courage. You're building, brick by brick, the foundation of a healthy and peaceful financial life. When you're ready, we'll move on to the next chapter, where we'll deepen how to handle surprises and maintain balance even when life surprises you. Until then, care for yourself with love and kindness. Your path is valuable and deserves to be walked with calm. Feel your breath, slow, calm, like the gentle rhythm of a breeze dancing through leaves. Today, let's talk about something that happens to all of us. Surprises, those unexpected moments that arise without warning, bringing challenges and sometimes a bit of anxiety. When we talk about budgeting, we often imagine everything will follow a neat plan, without surprises. But life is a bit different. It's made of changes, detours, good surprises, and others that require extra care. So, Learning to handle these moments is part of the journey to a calmer relationship with money. Picture your budget as a garden. You plant, water, and care for it with love. But sometimes a big rain or strong wind comes. The garden may shake, some leaves may fall, but with care and patience, it recovers and blooms again. The same applies to your budget. Having a financial plan doesn't mean everything will always be perfect, but it means you have a strong foundation to lean on when storms come. The first step is accepting that surprises are natural, and that being prepared doesn't mean controlling everything, but creating a safety reserve that gives you peace of mind. This reserve is like a soft cushion that protects your rest. It doesn't need to be large right away. Just start with small, consistent contributions. Another way to handle surprises is to keep flexibility in your planning. This means setting aside part of your budget for unexpected situations or adjusting priorities as needed. When an unplanned expense arises, try to look at the rest of your budget as a map that can be redrawn without haste or guilt. For example, if there was a larger health expense that month, maybe leisure or a less urgent purchase can wait. This adaptation is a sign of emotional intelligence and self-care. And if the surprise causes a bigger imbalance, breathe deeply and remember, crises pass. The important thing is not letting a tough moment compromise your entire financial serenity. Seek help if you need it, whether from a friend, family member, or professional, and stay kind to yourself during the process. Another key aspect is the attitude toward the emotions that come with surprises. Fear, frustration, or anxiety are natural, but don't need to take over. Allow yourself to feel, embrace these emotions, and then refocus on what can be done with calm and clarity. The practice of mindfulness can be a great ally here. When you notice your feelings without getting lost in them, you create space for conscious, gentle choices. Also, remember that not all surprises are negative. Sometimes, unexpected opportunities arise, moments that invite you to grow and reinvent your planning. Having an open mind to these possibilities helps turn challenges into lessons and growth. Finally, care for yourself as you would a dear friend going through a tough time. Be patient, kind, and supportive with yourself. Your budget is a tool for your peace, not a source of suffering. Breathe deeply one more time, feeling the support you can create for yourself, even in uncertainty. You're strengthening your foundation, becoming more and more capable of navigating any sea. When you're ready, we'll continue this journey to discover how to celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and keep your heart light. Until then, breathe, embrace, and follow your rhythm. Feel the air entering and leaving slowly through your nostrils, each breath bringing calm, each exhale carrying away any tension. Today, I invite you to look at your small victories with care. Yes, those achievements that sometimes seem so small, they almost go unnoticed. Celebrating progress, even subtle progress, is a delicate way to nurture your confidence and maintain the path of financial serenity. Picture your journey as a trail in a forest. You may not see the mountaintop yet, but every step forward is real progress, a movement toward what you desire. Every conscious choice you make, even if it seems small, is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your future. It could be something simple, like consistently tracking your expenses, or realizing today you avoided an impulsive purchase. It could also be the moment you decided to save a little, an amount that once seemed impossible. All these actions are gifts you give yourself, moments of care and respect for your story. When we recognize and value our small achievements, we create a cycle of motivation that makes the journey lighter and more joyful. You don't need to wait for big events to feel good about your finances. Kindness begins in the details. Try to recall a time when you felt proud of yourself, not for the final result, but for the effort, the quiet dedication. That feeling is what we want to cultivate together. How about creating a simple ritual to celebrate these small victories? It could be as simple as a smile to yourself in the mirror, a word of encouragement whispered, or a brief pause to breathe deeply and give thanks. These moments of recognition are like flowers blooming in your inner garden, bringing beauty and calm. It's also important to understand that progress isn't a straight line. There will be days when you move forward more, others when it feels like you're standing still. And that's all part of the nature of growth. Accepting these variations is a way of loving the process, without haste, without pressure. Every step, no matter how small, has its unique value. Avoid comparing your journey to others. Every story is unique. Every budget reflects personal priorities, challenges, and dreams. Your financial journey is yours alone, a delicate path that deserves respect and kindness. If you feel like it, write down or mentally note your daily or weekly achievements. It can be a gentle way to keep the flame of motivation and care alive. Another way to celebrate is to share your victories. When you feel comfortable with someone who supports your growth, a hug, a kind word, a shared smile are also nourishment for the soul. In this moment, take a brief pause to breathe and feel your body relax a bit more. Feel how this invitation to celebrate strengthens your heart and lights up your path. When you acknowledge your effort, you create an inner environment conducive to tranquility and balance. Remember, financial peace is built day by day, step by step, with kindness and presence. In the coming chapters, we'll continue exploring tools and attitudes that will make your relationship with money increasingly light and harmonious. Now, breathe deeply one more time. Feel the lightness of this moment and allow yourself to smile at yourself. You're doing so well. Close your eyes for a moment and let your breath find its natural, slow, serene rhythm. Picture yourself now standing before a vast, tranquil field, ready to be cultivated. This field represents your financial future, an open space where your gentle, conscious decisions can flourish. Planning for the future doesn't need to be a heavy burden or a complex task. Think of planning as an act of self-care, a loving gesture that prepares the ground for calmer days. Visualize a small seed in your hands. It's fragile, delicate, but holds within it the potential of a strong, leafy tree. So it is with your financial intentions and plans. Every small action, every choice made with care, is a gentle watering of that seed. No rush, no pressure, just presence and care. When thinking about the future, it's natural for doubts and uncertainties to arise. They're like passing clouds in the vast sky of your mind. Acknowledge these clouds, but don't let them turn into storms. You have the ability to observe without being shaken. Now, imagine you're drawing a gentle map of this field. It doesn't need to be a perfect map, just a kind vision of what you'd like to cultivate. What kind of fruits do you want to harvest? What flowers would you like to see bloom? It could be the feeling of security, the freedom to choose, the joy of giving gifts, or the peace of not worrying about surprises. Each of these desires is a guiding star in your personal sky. As you draw this map, think of simple ways to care for this field. Maybe it's saving a little of what you earn, maybe learning to distinguish between what's essential and what's extra. Every small gesture of care is a gentle step that strengthens your roots. And if the terrain feels rocky or difficult, know that this is part of the journey too. With patience and consistency, it's possible to till those rocks and prepare fertile soil. If you wish, mentally or in a notebook, jot down some intentions for the future. Writing is a way to make what's in your heart concrete. But remember, it doesn't need to be perfect. The important thing is that planning is an act of kindness, not pressure. Allow for adjustments, changes, of course, new discoveries. Life is a dance, and the rhythm can vary. Now, visualize a path connecting your present to the future you dream of. This path is made of small steps, each as valuable as the next, and you walk it with serenity, aware that every choice is an act of self-love. If fear or doubt arises, embrace them gently. They're just part of the journey, not insurmountable obstacles. Breathe deeply and imagine these feelings dissolving like light morning mist in the sun. Before closing this chapter, pause to feel the security that comes from caring for yourself, from preparing your terrain with calm. You deserve this care, this attention, and know that even if the future seems distant, every action in the present builds the path to it. When you're ready, bring your attention back to the present moment. Feel your body supported, your breath gentle, and smile to yourself, acknowledging how valuable this moment of preparation and love is. Breathe deeply, very slowly, feeling the air entering and leaving, cradling your body with calm and comfort. This moment is yours, a moment of pause, of embrace. Close your eyes if you wish, letting each word be an invitation to rest and serenity. Throughout this gentle and kind journey, you've walked with me through paths of light and understanding about your budget, about how you care for your money, your time, your energy. Now, it's time to bring all this into your heart, like a silent treasure that accompanies you. Remember that planning, organizing, and reflecting on your finances doesn't need to be heavy. It can be an act of love, of care for yourself, like a warm hug at the end of the day, a deep sigh of relief and gratitude. The peace that comes from this calm attention is a gift you always deserve. Feel how each lesson, each insight is being carefully stored within you. Picture a soft box lined with gentle fabrics, where you place each piece of knowledge gained. You don't need to carry it all in your mind. Just know that these lessons are there, ready to be used when you need them. Perhaps tonight, as you fall asleep, you'll feel the comfort of knowing you have tools to care for your money better, without anxiety or haste. That, at your own pace, you can build a lighter, safer path. This is an invitation to rest, knowing that tomorrow is a new day to care for what matters. Your breath continues slow, deep. You are safe, embraced, protected. Every cell in your body relaxes, allowing your mind to slow down, your heart to calm. Let this moment linger, like a gentle wave that comes and goes, bringing tranquility. If any restless thought arises, just observe it, like a cloud passing in the sky, without holding on. Return your attention to your breath, to the sound of your own being. Everything is okay. You are exactly where you need to be. Now, feel a warm light enveloping your body. A light that comes from within you, made of serenity, confidence, and hope. This light grows slowly, illuminating every corner of your being, warming with tenderness, bringing comfort. Before we finish, allow yourself to thank yourself for dedicating this time, for opening your heart to learn and grow. Every step taken is a gesture of courage and love. You deserve this recognition. Breathe one more time, deeply, and as you exhale, feel even lighter, ready for a peaceful, renewing sleep. When you feel it's time, open your eyes slowly, carrying with you this gentle peace and the clarity you've cultivated. Thank you for letting me walk beside you on this journey. May serenity and balance always be with you. Now, let's create a space of gratitude together, a silent refuge where you can connect with everything you already have and the possibilities ahead. Feel the softness of the air around you. Each breath is an invitation to give thanks. Thank your body for sustaining you, your mind for learning, your heart for feeling. Think of a small seed. That seed is you, with all your potential and possibilities. Even if it seems small today, it carries the strength to grow, bloom, bear fruit. Picture yourself planting this seed in fertile soil. It's the soil of your calm, your gentle commitment to your financial well-being. Water this seed with positive thoughts, with care, with patience. Feel this seed growing slowly, a little stronger each day. It grows in the soil of your self-love and respect for what you're building. You don't need to rush this growth. Every step matters. Every gesture of care, a victory. This garden you're tending is yours alone, unique and special. As the night spreads gently outside, imagine the stars shining, especially for you, lighting the path of your journey. Let this light illuminate your dreams, your deepest desires. May it bring comfort and inspiration for tomorrow. And whenever you need, remember, you can return to this garden of calm, this space of peace, to rebalance, to breathe, to reconnect with your calmest self. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. May your night be sweet, full of peaceful dreams, and may each dawn be an invitation to keep caring for yourself, your time, and your choices. Sleep well, and until next time.